Hello students, we are reading chapter 8 of Footprints Without Feet, and that is Hack Driver. It's a story of a cunning manipulator, hack driver named Oliver Lutkins. In the first part, we have seen that the hack driver took the narrator to many places in search of uh, Oliver Lutkins, but he was not able to catch him. Now let's move to the second part, and from page 50 we will start, and here we are. I know that Bill's helpfulness to the young fellow from the city was not entirely a matter of brotherly love. So here the narrator says that he knew this thing, that Bill was not helping him because of his helping nature. That means the young fellow from the city. Who is the young fellow from the city? That is the narrator. So here the narrator knew this thing, that Bill was not helping him because of his helping nature, because of the brotherly love. I was paying him for his time. In the end, I paid him for 6 hours, including the lunch hour, at what was then a very high price. So here the narrator was aware of this thing, that Bill was not helping him because of his helping nature, but because he was earning from him. That's why he was helping him. And he was getting paid for 6 hours he spent with the clerk, with the narrator, even the lunch hour during which they were sitting idle on a hilltop. But he was no more dishonest than I. But here the narrator also admitted this thing, that he was comfortable with this because his law firm would bear all these expenses. That's why he was comfortable with it, that how they were just spending the time, right? So he was not considering the hack driver dishonest. I charged the whole thing to the firm, but it would have been worth paying him myself to have his presence. So he just felt it to be dishonesty also on his own part. He was happy to get the company of such a cheerful person like Bill. And that's why he just took it worthy to pay him, as he wanted his presence. So he just justified this act, justify his dishonesty. Right now, his cheerful country wisdom was very refreshing to a country boy like myself who was sick of the city. So he was very happy to get the company of such a cheerful person like Bill. As we sat on the hilltop, looking over the pastures and creek which slipped among the trees, he talked of New Mullion and painted a picture in words of all the people in it. So while they were sitting on the hilltop, they saw the beautiful grasslands. Creek means water streams which are just flowing through the trees, and then the narrator just considered that they were very beautiful, as he was also a villager and didn't like the city life much. That's why he was very fascinated by the picture which was painted by the hack driver. When the hack driver talked of New Mullion, he was very fascinated by that picture, by the words of the hack driver, by the just description given by the hack driver. That means Bill told him everything about New Mullion. Now, he noticed everything, but no matter how much he might laugh at people. So he explained everything, he knew everything and everyone. He explained everything and everyone in such a way that he felt like everything had happened in front of his own eyes. Right? So that means he was just making the things lively. He also understood and forgave their foolishness. He described the minister's wife who sang the loudest in church when she was most in debt. He commented on the boys who came back from college in fancy clothes. He told about the lawyer whose wife could never succeed in getting him to put on both a collar and a tie on the same day. So he explained everything and everyone in such a way that he felt like everything was just happening in front of his own eyes. Bill told him about the minister's wife who would sing so loudly in the church whenever she was under debt. That means we can say when she was just liable to pay off her credit. This means that she prayed to God for her problems. Then there were some college boys who would dress in such a fancy way, and then he described the lawyer's wife who always failed in her attempt to make her husband wear both the collar and the tie on the same day. Then the narrator says that he made them all alive, all live. On that day, I came to know New Mullion better than I did the city and to love it better. So, here we can see the narrator says that Bill's knowledge of his village fellows was so good that it made him love the small town of New Mullion. And then he says that now he knew almost everything about this place, whereas he was not much aware of the city he was living in. So, how he got this knowledge? From the hack driver. Then Bill didn't know about college and cities, but he had traveled around a lot of the country. So Bill didn't know about the college and city, but he had traveled around a lot of the country. Country means rural backgrounds. So here Bill knew nothing about the college and cities, maybe because he never got the chance to visit these places. But he knew everything about the villages, about the small towns. As why? Because he and had a lot of jobs, because maybe that's the reason that he had done different type of jobs at these places. From his adventures, he had brought back a philosophy of simplicity and laughter. And maybe because of his experience, he has just got his theory, or we can say his philosophy of simplicity and cheerful nature as a gift by just exploring these places. Then he strengthened me. Now he tried to build faith in the narrator that they would surely catch Lutkins. So, in this way, he was just making the narrator strong. We left that peaceful scene of meadows and woods and resumed our search of Oliver Lutkins. Now, both of them left the beautiful fields, and restarted their search mission, which was for Oliver Lutkins. We could not find him. At last, Bill cornered a friend of Lutkins and made me admit what he guessed. Oliver's gone out to his mother's farm 3 miles north. Then we draw out their laying plans. Then at last we can say Bill just forced one of Lutkins' friends to admit that Lutkins had run away to his mother's house, which was 3 miles away from New Mullion, and then they both of them prepared to drive to Lutkins' mother in order to find him. And they were just laying some plans how to catch Lutkins. I know Oliver's mother. She is a terror. Bill sighed. I took a trunk out there for her once and she almost took my skin off because I didn't treat it like a box of eggs. So here Bill just told the narrator that he knew Oliver's mother because once he took the delivery of a trunk for her and she treated him very badly as she was angry for not taking proper care of her trunk. Then he described her physical appearance. She is about 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick and quick as a cat, and she sure can talk. So here uh, the hack driver described her physical appearance that she was 9 feet tall, 4 feet thick, and compared her quickness to that of a cat. Now, I shall bet Oliver heard that somebody is chasing him and he has gone on there to hide behind his mother's skirts. Then he added that Lutkins must have come to know that they were searching for him, and that is why he had run to his mother's place in order to hide himself. Then we shall try her, but you would better let me do it, boy. You may be great at literature and law, but you haven't had real training in swearing. So here the hack driver gave suggestions that the narrator should let him deal with the mother as he doubted that the narrator would not be able to extract the truth from the lady's mouth. And he was just sure that maybe he was just the narrator was good at literature, or you can say in vocabulary or in law, but he had no real training in swearing. Swearing means in using abusing language. Then we draw into a poor farmyard. We were faced by an enormous and cheerful old woman. My guide bravely went up to her and said, "Remember me? I am Bill Magnuson, the carter and hackman. I want to find your son, Oliver." So we just come to know that both of them, that means the narrator and hack driver, they reached the farmland. They found a heavily built cheerful old lady, and then Bill went up to her with guts and introduced himself by saying that he was Bill Magnuson, and also told her that he was searching for her son Oliver, right? My guide means hack driver. "I don't know anything about Oliver and I don't want to," she shouted. So the lady just replied by shouting that she knew nothing about him and she didn't want to know. Now, look here. We have just we have had just about enough nonsense. Uh, then Bill just got a bit strict with the lady, and then he said that they had been through tough and confusing things. That means they have already gone through such type of nonsense things. That means they have given such type of enough nonsense information already they have got. "This young man represents the court in the city, and we have a legal right to search all properties of this Oliver Lutkins." Then he again warned her that the clerk is a person appointed by the city court. The narrator is a person appointed by the city court. And then he also informed her that they had got the legal right to search her house to find Oliver Lutkins. Bill made me sound very important. Now, Bill just behaved in a confident manner and just introduced the narrator as a very important person. So here the clerk was very happy as he was getting due importance from Bill. And the woman was impressed, and even the lady seemed impressed by him. She retired into the kitchen and we followed. She went into the kitchen and both of them followed her. But to their shock, what happened? She seized an iron from the old fashioned stove and marched on us, shouting. So they were shocked because she took out a hot iron from the stove and threatened them to burn. You search all you want to, if you don't mind getting burned first. She shouted and laughed at our frightened retreat. Retreat means pull back. That means when they were just uh, moving back, she laughed. When they stepped back due to fear, she just laughed, and she also threatened them to burn. Let us get out of here. She shall murder us, Bill whispered. Then Bill just spoke in a low voice, and why he murmured or he just whispered, because the reaction of the lady was so horrible that Bill murmured or whispered to the clerk, to the narrator, to leave the place. Outside, he said, did you see her smile? She was laughing at us. Then he agreed that the behavior of the woman was very rude. I agreed that it was pretty disrespectful treatment. So he was then heck driver agreed. He just admitted that the behavior of this that lady was very rude. It was disrespectful. We did, however, search the house. However, they searched the house and they managed to search the whole house, including, since it was only one story high, that means it was only having ground floor. Bill went round it, peering in at all the windows. We examined the barn. Barn means house, or you can say shelter, and the stable. We were reasonably certain that Lutkins was not there. It was nearly time for me to catch the afternoon train, and Bill drove me to the station. So here we can say uh, they managed to search the whole house, including the outhouse and then the stable. Stable means a place where horse is tied. Then, as it was only a single storied building, they managed to search the whole of it and could not find Lutkins. And now the narrator was getting late for his train. That's why Bill took him to the station. On the way to the city, I worried very little over my failure to find Lutkins. But here we come to know that the narrator was we come to know that the narrator was not able to find Lutkins, but he was not so worried about it as his firm was. Right? Here, I was too busy thinking about Bill Magnuson. Really, I considered returning to New Mullion to practice law. So he was just considering, or he was just thinking about only to practice law or to be a lawyer. And he was just busy in thinking about Bill Magnuson, about the head driver, and he was not worried about his failure to find Lutkins. If I had found Bill so deep and richly human, might I not grow to love Fritz and Gustav and 100 other slow spoken, simple, wise neighbors? So, here the people uh, the narrator had liked Bill, who was a knowledgeable person. Deep means knowledgeable person, and richly human, that means having excellent human qualities. So here we can say the narrator was very impressed with Bill, and he had liked Bill, who was a knowledgeable person and had excellent human qualities. I thought I may start liking Fritz, Gustav, and other people of the village. They all were simple, spoke softly, and could be wise neighbors. I pictured an honest and happy life beyond the strict limits of universities and law firms. So, here the narrator imagined an honest and happy life, and this life would be away from the strictness of universities and legal firms. I was excited. I had found a treasure. I had discovered a new way of life. So the narrator was very eager for such life. He had found a new way of living which could be very good and simple. But if I did not think much about Lutkins, the office did. Though he did not think much about Lutkins, but his office people were very serious about finding Lutkins. I found them all upset. Next morning, the case was coming up in the court and they had to have Lutkins. So the next morning, the case was coming up in the court and they wanted Lutkins to be present in the court. It, I was a shameful, useless fool. That morning, my promising legal career almost came to an end because before it had begun. So the narrator was just considered a shameful and useless fool by the office employees. That morning, they considered removing me from the job, and considering that means the narrator from the job, and his future career as a lawyer would have ended before it had started. The chief almost murdered me. The chief was very, that means, angry at him. He scolded him too much, and then he hinted that I might do well at digging ditches. I was ordered back to New Mullion, and with me went a man who had worked with Lutkins. Now, the boss, the chief, told him that I should start a work like digging pits because it doesn't require use of brain. And he was also ordered that he should go back to New Mullion to find Lutkins again. And this time, a person from office was coming with him, and he had who had worked with Lutkins earlier. I was rather sorry because it would prevent my laughing all over again with Bill. So here we come to know that the narrator felt very sad that one more person was coming with him, because now he would not be able uh, to move around with Bill. When the train arrived at New Mullion, Bill was on the station. So here, when the train reached the station of New Mullion, Bill was on the platform. He was standing near his cart. Strangely enough, the old tigress Lutkins' mother was there, talking and laughing with Bill, not quarreling at all. So it was quite strange that the old fierce woman, that daring woman, mother of Lutkins, was also standing there. But she was laughing with Bill. They were not fighting. From the train steps, I pointed Bill out to my companion and said, "There is a fine fellow, a real man. I spent the day with him." So from the train itself, I pointed towards Bill and I told my colleague that Bill is a good person, a nice person, and I had spent the full day with him. So he just told uh, his companion that Bill is a good person, is a nice person, and he had spent the day with him. Then, he helped you hunt for Oliver Lutkins? Yes, he helped me a lot. He must have. He is Lutkin himself. Now, the his companion just asked if Bill had helped him in finding Lutkins. Then the narrator replied that he had helped him a lot. Then his companion, his friend, said that he must have helped him because he is himself Lutkins. What really hurt me was that when I served the summons, Lutkins and his mother laughed at me as though I were a bright boy of 7. So when the narrator gave summons to Lutkins, he felt insulted when Lutkins and his mother laughed at him as if he were a child of 7 years old, of 7 years age. With loving kindness, they begged me to go with them to a neighbor's house for a cup of coffee. But here again, with lots of kindness, they earnestly requested the narrator to come with them to the house of their neighbor for a cup of coffee. Why? I told them about you and they are anxious to look at you, said Lutkins joyfully. So he was just making fun of him. Lutkins was making fun of the narrator. He happily said that he had told his neighbors about the narrator, and they are about the only folks in the town that missed seeing you yesterday. So they are very eager to meet the narrator. Probably they are the only people in the town who had not met him yesterday. In this way, he was making fun of the narrator. So we have just read in this chapter that how cunning hack driver befooled the narrator and just cheated on him, right? I hope you are able to understand this part of the chapter. Thank you. Have a good day.